but you better take this seriously. And I like jumped across the desk, kissed her. She wasn't ready for that stuff. And I said, I always tell people you gave my start. And that's why I've always told the story. And, her name was Mrs. Williams, and she got the loan with the money though. She didn't have to do it. I don't know how she did. Maybe she co-signed. I don't know. But, I took $1,200, which makes me emotional even now remembering it. And all the money in the world was more expensive than the car I was sleeping in, right? You know? And I went to Jim Rohn's seminar, and I met a man there named Mike Keyes, who's still my friend today, 45 plus years later. And he had just a little bit more money than me. And he said, look, stay in my hotel. You don't stay in your car. And we were both pretty broken, but a lot of very wealthy people were there learning from him. But because of that, like I said, it's like we were writing every word. I didn't go to the bathroom and everything. I was done. At one point, I figured every word was worth like 3 cents or some ridiculous thing, but I was so committed. And then Jim Rohn, years later, I spoke at his funeral. He's a beautiful man. He would start his seminars and say, you know, every time I get up here, I want to do a good job because you never know who's in your audience. And he'd tell the story about this kid who's sitting in his room and shouting out answers. And he goes, you know what it was? Tony Robbins. And today he serves people all around the world. And then he also would tell a story about Mike, the two guys that were the most broke, because we probably applied it as much or more than most people would. So that's where my whole start began.